Yes, I agree with you. You made a presentation. I thought we were having a presentation of alternatives for Honolulu. You gave a presentation of what we should not use, and I agree. I have never been in favor of a busway, as you know, and I was one of the greatest opponents of BRT because those two systems are not good for Honolulu. And even though the past administration was a big proponent of BRT, I've always opposed it. And I spoke with FTA. Yes, they do not fund busways, but they will fund a bus fixed guideway system. And they told me that they may even put one in Boston and in Montreal. I don't know why we had to see all those pictures of what we should not be doing, because I agree, those are things we should not be doing. We should build this elevated, and then we decide on the technology. Should it be rail or should it be bus that goes on this elevated, dedicated lane? And I just didn't understand that presentation, because those are things that we've dealt with before. We've always been opposed to it. So are you open to looking at a bus fixed guideway on this same elevated that we'd be building for whether it's rail or bus? Because it's up to the council to choose whether it's bus or rail.
I would like to respond by saying that when you use the term bus, I think that's not what we're talking about in the way we define the fixed guideway system.
But the FTA understood exactly what I was talking about.
I think
they said they do not fund the busway, and I agree. We should not use a busway. We should not have BRT.
Then I would like to suggest is not to use the term bus,
Okay,
but we stay with a rubber tire system.
Or we'll say a fixed guideway system that does not require track.
Yes, that's true.
Okay.
Right. So it's a rubber tire fixed guideway system, and as I stated, that is in the mix. The part
Right.
that I think it concerns us is that the distinction of the system as whole is often mixed with the vehicle that runs on the system. To me, the system, the large system, is where do you run the system, how do you run the system, versus vehicle is what you're going to run on the system.
Right.
So in an earlier presentation, as in a mixed traffic or to take the lane away, that I thought was off the table, because
Right.
you already specifically selected the grade separated system.
Exactly.
Right.
I
Okay.
agree.
But what could be run on it? Yes, it could be similar to Philly's system that they had proposed,
Right.
with just a minor note that their presentation said it's 188 passengers for the vehicle. I mean, larger system. We would require about 300
Well, you
passenger
can
capacity eligible.
Because they show the bus, the system all going to mixed traffic, because that's the practicality of it. It could come from Waianae, and it could go on the regular road and get onto the fixed skyway.
That's the problem I have, because then we're talking about ramps.
No, there's no, well, how are you going to get the train up there? By crane? Every time
Yes.
you need to fix it, you have to use a crane to take it down?
No, we don't take it down. They drive to the yard.
Yeah, but how do you get it off of the elevated?
They don't.
The train always stays up there, even if it...
Not up there, but that it comes down to the
Well,
yard.
It's very simple to make a ramp to go on, so that...
I'm sorry, but
That's because you
ramp
don't want
is not
the-
simple.
Well,
Okay, let's not get too much
Yeah,
into a
because,
debate,
you
because this
know,
sounds all
this-
familiar
the thing
from
is,
previous iterations. But
we have to keep an open mind. See, we have to do what's best for our city. We have to do what's best for our taxpayers. We cannot close our minds just to one system if it's not going to benefit the people of this city. That's why we're here. We're here to find the best system.
I cannot disagree with you. That
But
definitely
let's be
we have
open
to.
about it. Let's
I
be
think
open
we're
about
open,
it.
but we need to make some decision at a time. And I thought that this decision was made to make this fixed guideway. Now that what's
Exactly.
open is what kind of vehicle to run on it.
Exactly. And where to stop, how to get the train up there instead of using a crane every time you want it up and down. Maybe a ramp to get it up there. I mean, we have to be open about things.
No,
We have to fit things that'll benefit the taxpayers of this city. That's my goal. I have no other agenda. but to benefit the taxpayers of this city, whatever it takes. And I'm going to keep fighting and trying to make all options available so that this is a huge project. People are worried about how much they're going to have to pay. They don't trust that in 15 years this tax is going to stop. So we have to really open our hearts and our minds to what is best for our city, because this is going to affect us forever. We lay track in that road, it's going to stay there forever.
I agree with you. The only part that I can agree is the adding the ramps, because we didn't cost it out, and that means the different impacts.
For the whatever benefits the taxpayers of this city, I think we should open our hearts and minds and make things available.
And I
Even
think-
though it's not written down today, let's keep our minds open.
And I think the presentation we have today, Council Member, indicates that at least for this chairman, that I'm willing to listen to all points of view before we make any kind of final decision. I'd like to think of the glass as half full, because I think I seem to have heard some kind of agreement as to having a rubber-tired vehicle on this thing. So we're almost there. We just have to figure out the details.